For the record, PSAPs are not hearing aids. Welcome to today's video. My name is Emily. I created Definite Hearing as a way to increase awareness for the deaf and hard of hearing. I'm hard of hearing myself. I wear hearing aids and I've worn them since I was 4 months old. I love them so much. They make such a difference in my life. They enable me to hear so much compared to what I would be able to hear without them. Without my hearing aids, I can't hear anything. My husband will be sitting right next to me and I can't hear what he's saying. My hearing loss is rated as moderate to severe. The best way that I can put it in comprehensible terms is if you were underwater. Imagine that being your normal hearing. With my hearing aids, I'm able to put them in the morning and hear so much. It's like putting on glasses. I go from only being able to see 5 inches in front of my face, putting on my glasses and seeing the world clearly. Hearing aids are incredible. So let's talk about PSAPs. They are not hearing aids. What are PSAPs? Great question. I hope you stick around to the end because if you do, you'll be a PSAP expert. PSAP stands for Personal Sound Amplification Product. This is a hearing amplifier. Most manufacturers market it incorrectly as a hearing aid. Hearing aids are in fact regulated by the FDA because they help or assist a medical condition, hearing loss. PSAPs are supposed to help people with normal hearing. It acts as an amplifier to boost all the sounds a normal person would hear. People typically use PSAPs with normal hearing in hunting environments, restaurants, church, schools, meetings, you name it. PSAPs are intended for people with normal hearing. Because they amplify all of the sounds, when people with normal hearing hear them, they get what they hear just a little bit louder. Hearing aids are different because when someone has a hearing loss, whether it's mild, moderate, severe, or profound, they simply cannot hear certain sounds and frequencies. Therefore, a PSAP, though it would boost the sound of things, it would not help them in those areas and those frequencies that they already cannot hear. PSAPs are very simple devices, hence the fact they're so inexpensive. Hearing aids are essentially smart hearing devices. You know you're getting a hearing aid if you visit an audiologist, a licensed audiologist, and they map your hearing and they tune your device. This is all done on a computer with a program. They fine-tune this hearing aid to boost the sound that your hearing loss needs. Imagine this. Imagine that you want to get your teeth whitened. You can get just a generic tray, or you can get a custom fit tray that fits the alignment of your teeth. Same with hearing aids. PSAPs are like a thick, bulky, no pattern, just U-shaped mouth guard that you put in and can whiten your teeth, or you can get a custom tray that's fit to your teeth to help whiten your teeth evenly. But I will say that hearing loss is a lot more important than white teeth. Hearing aids are custom fit to the person who is wearing them. So if someone else wears my hearing aid and it's programmed to my hearing loss, it will not benefit them the way that it benefits me. Have you ever tried to borrow someone else's smartphone for a day? It can be confusing because things are not where you are used to having them. The same with a hearing aid. It's meant to be yours. It's customized to you. It's meant to just be put on and forgotten. PSAPs are just amplifiers. They're essentially just simple hearing devices. They're meant for people with normal hearing and not people with mild hearing losses and on. PSAPs can be bought online, in store, or really anywhere. Right now, it's required that people visit an audiologist or a doctor to receive hearing aids. This is because, again, the FDA regulates them as hearing loss is considered a medical condition. But I have to say, I find this ironic because though the FDA defines hearing loss as a medical condition, a lot of insurance companies do not define hearing loss as a coverable medical condition. So a lot of people have to pay out of pocket for hearing devices rather than utilizing their private insurance. This is something that drives me absolutely crazy and that I'm very passionate about and working on so that private insurances will cover hearing devices. Hearing devices are relatively inexpensive compared to the myriad of other medical procedures that are required to treat other medical conditions. If you or someone you know is experiencing hearing loss, you may be so tempted to pick up a PSAP or an over-the-counter hearing aid, which will come by the numbers in the next year or so as the FDA is working to approve over-the-counter hearing aid regulations. But if you are experiencing any kind of hearing loss, I highly recommend that you go to an ear, nose, and throat doctor or an audiologist. Ideally, just go straight to the audiologist. They will assess your hearing and your medical history in general. Did you know that hearing loss can be an early indicator of other underlying medical conditions? Yes, especially if your hearing loss is not genetic and it comes suddenly out of the blue. Hearing loss is typically a comorbid medical condition with other severe medical conditions, such as cardiovascular disease, kidney disease, tumors, and so much more. So if you experience a sudden onset of hearing loss and you're tempted to pick up a PSAP or a personal sound amplification product is meant for people with normal hearing. If you're experiencing hearing loss, you no longer have normal hearing. You need to go visit an audiologist and make sure that your hearing loss is the only medical condition you are experiencing. If you have any questions about personal sound amplification devices or hearing aids, please let me know in the comments below. Just remember that I'm a fellow hearing aid wearer. I study this stuff because it fascinates me, but I'm also not a medical expert. So if you have medical questions, always check with an audiologist or talk to your doctor. If you haven't already, please like this video and subscribe to my channel. I look forward to sharing more excellent hearing loss related content for you. Now you are a PSAP expert. You know the difference between a personal sound amplification product and a hearing aid. Which one's best for you? I would like to add as one last thing, PSAPs just have one volume control. They do not have the bells and whistles that hearing aids do. I can pick up my phone and hear straight through my hearing aids and no one else can hear it. Sometimes I look kind of crazy because I'm talking to myself, really to the person on the phone, but the sound quality is incredible and so is the music. Bluetooth through a hearing aid is the best feature ever. So definitely know if you get a hearing aid, you'll have that perk as well. Thanks for sticking around. Have a great day. Stay strong, stay amazing. Bye.